What's your baby? What's your baby? Come on, join. Join Matrix. Come on. Come on. Hi, baby. Hi, Shafi. Come. Come, Shafi. Come, Shafi, Shafi. Shafi, Shafi. Matrix. Hi, Sonia. How are you? Where are you? And what is your sign? Hi, Allison. Hi, loving you. Sorry, guys, if I cough. I'm a little bit under some kind of cold, and we have a visitor. Hi, Shafi, Shafi. Hi, Shafi. Say hi. Hi, Shafi. What happened? I'm offline. Why am I offline? What the heck is going on here? Again? No. Come on, Shafi. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Live again. Cancer. Guys, tell me where you're from and what sign are you? There she is. The little girl. She has to be the part. She looks to be an activity star, as I call her. Hi, Saji. Hi, air signs. Hello. There she is. I think she wants me to play her special tapes, which are the birds chirping. Right, Safi? Where are the birds? Where are the birds? Where are the birds? You know that word? The bird's toy. Yes. Yes. Hi, everybody. Look at this. We have lots of air signs over here that I see. Well, we have some earth here as well. Hi, my turquoise. Hi, Kartisha. Hi, Stellar, Connie, Keisha, Nipa, Georgina. So, guys, I'm going to be using this gilded tarot today, and we are going to do the weeklies. We are going to do the basically element categories. So let's see, anybody has a suggestion which category I should start first? And also, if you want, in between the categories, I can address not private questions, but sort of like generic questions. Anything you want to know about, I don't know, politics or life, I can kind of like quickly kind of like squeeze it in. So, okay. Sorry, guys, for coughing. So, let's see. Which signs do we start with first? Hi, Daria. Thank you for your comments. Hi, Doug. How are you, Dougie? How's everything? All right. So which signs are first, guys? I'm still not hearing peeps from you. Hey, Rapunzel. Am I pronouncing this well? Let me know if my person I will meet in April is my soulmate. Daria. I never answer private questions here. This is what the private reading is for. But I will, in between the elements, answer generic questions. Anything you want to ask me about the peace in the world, stuff like that. Keisha, earth, fire, air. Okay, now I'm confused. Air, we have two airs, we have two earths. Come on, I want to see you guys a little bit more. Let's vote. You guys need to learn to vote. You cannot basically let other look. I want to see this interaction. There you go. Water, air, fire. Okay, air wins. I had the most of the air, so good stuff. So you see, guys, this is what is the significance of air signs. They actually talk and communicate. And the second one was fire, which is all action. So that kind of like made sense. So let's see. Air. What is for the air from the 24th to 30th? What is for the air from 24th to 30th? What is for the air from 24th to 30th of March? Can you believe it? It's already end of March. I was looking at the calendar. I was like, oh my gosh, where did my March go? Hi from Holland, Sylvia. I have to start going out, walking out, getting active. Okay, air. Let's go. Air. March 24th to March 30th. March 24th to March 30th. Air. March 24th to March 30th. So we have 9 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Ugh, it's sounding worse than it is, basically. And then we have Death reverse. I don't like that, but this is now Mercury retrograde, guys. Hello. 6 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. Okay, air, having fire, having earth, and having water, but no air. So in short, air is going to be a little lost this week. Air is going to start, like, there is something with air signs that I see over here, that something is in progress, something that kind of like was feeling kind of rusty, or maybe didn't get to the conclusion that it had to go, and maybe there was a hope that certain things will actually kind of work out, but they're kind of like getting stymied, or other people interfering. I don't know if this is a Queen of Wands. It's either a person who's pulling the strings behind the scenes, if you wish, somebody who is highly manipulative, and it could be simply somebody who is your competition, a rival, which is kind of really weird. This person is doing lots of damage. There is somebody in air people life. I will really have to clarify for each sign. But there is like somebody here who is creating problems, and we are trying to sort of like in a very infantile way to approach it, and I'm sorry to say it's going to take much stronger measures, and the stronger measures would be hit them where it hurts. If this is a job, or if this is like a financial matter, you will really have to take it all the way. The good thing is, like, the air signs will be victorious. 6 of Wands is here, and kind of like the slow and steady will actually win the race. It might not give you as much satisfaction as it kind of like would need it to be to kind of equalize the situation. And it's going to be lots of suffering. It looks like, I don't know, honestly, I'm seeing a situation that goes back and forth, and it's kind of like almost like colliding over here on this Death card. And when the Death card comes reversed, this Death card is talking about big suffering, talks about not knowing when to stop, or simply kind of like one person insisting on doing something wrong. So let's let's check this. Sorry, but that's what I see. Mind you, like, I also see something very positive coming out of it, but this person is really putting up a fight. This is like James Bond. You have like two villains, both of them extremely strong, right? So kind of like really important. Hi Dean, it's actually a cat. I go by cat. So let's see. Okay, so ladies, I see the ladies twice over here, and look what we are seeing over here. Maybe some of us don't want to be single. Maybe some of us are putting up with situation and trying to be victorious in a situation which kind of like has no winners. So keep this in mind, right? Keep this in mind. Why is this coming? Thief. Could it be for love, that there is somebody influenced? There is this person, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Wands reverse is not a nice person. Upright, she's fun, she's the person you want to hang around with, but reverse, she is a mini, she's like the mean girls literally over here, who is going to take your man behind your back. If you want a promotion, and you kind of like really reveal like your strategy, she will go and bypass you and grab it herself and say, oh well, you know, I guess I will think about you next time. This is kind of the person who you really have to watch, because on the surface looks like really accommodating. So that's kind of a problem. So whether this is a person in your love life or in your life, and this can be mother-in-law, that can be a friend, that can be somebody, a third party. And it could be either a fire sign or a water sign, or specifically Scorpio. So let me see this death over here. Why is the death over here? Am I alive? I'm seeing red over here. Oh my gosh, this is just not good. Look at this. What the heck is going on, guys? It says misfortune, letter, and widower. So definitely suffering, definitely something that could have been prevented possibly with proper communication, but certain things will just have to come to their natural end, whatever this end is, whether you guys will end it or they will end it or courts will end it. But certain things, and this usually when this card shows up, the death, it's not something that has been going on just recently. This is something that has been going on for a while, and it's good. It looks like there's the end of the phase. Frankly, I think this is all good, even though it's going to feel like kind of like you know, the finale, like in a movie, everything is going to think that the hero or like a heroine will die, and it's going to be happy ending, but they'll be bleeding. Luckily not to death, but that's what I see. It's actually natural ending of something that has been going on for quite a while. There's like quite a fight in the situation. So let's check over here. Let's check which one is the first air sign. Gemini, right? Let's check one card for Gemini, one card for Gemini, and excuse me, one card for Libra. Hi everybody, guys. One card for Libra and one card for Aquarius. Okay, Gemini, you're a little bit lost in the situation. You will kind of like feel that you need pampering, maybe. Maybe you found yourself in a situation where you cannot rely on the help of others. This also can talk about financial issues and needing help, needing loan, needing some of the stuff. I think this is really relating on kind of like things. Maybe Geminis kind of like want to be in a couple, but not at any cost, because look at this, they do have each other, even though kind of like they don't have this material fortunes. But I think even though this is coming out as that, this is on which level you guys will kind of like wake up and feel maybe discomfort and try to move forward with this, right? So this would be Libra. Libra, actually you will be having really good progress in the situation. I'm actually surprised that Aquarius is going to act like Libra. Libra is getting, and it's kind of weird because the Magician generally represents Gemini, and the Magician is the one saying, wait a minute, never mind anything, as above so below, let's start creating things, let's start moving, movers and shakers, let's kind of do it. And it is kind of like getting off the butt, and because it's a Mercury retrograde and this is telling a new beginning, this is telling me that you're actually going back in the past and taking things from the past to kind of finish them or address them. And that can be anything: lawsuits, taxes, communication with people, addressing certain certain things that you didn't address when was the case, and it's kind of like really, really going forward. So you guys, looks like you're going to reap the best out of this period, right? Aquarians are okay. I'm tired. I just don't know what to do. I once had an opportunity to kind of like try to see. I was doing this Tai Chi sword style. Just one lesson, because this stuff is so heavy. It's like 25 pounds. You cannot hold this, like never mind lifting it. So just imagine what kind of weight she must feel on her shoulders over here, right? And she's blindfolded. So Aquarians need to get out of their heads. There are two choices. None of those choices feel right. Whether do I want to be with this partner or I don't want to be with a partner. Do I want to go in a lawsuit? Do I not want to go with a lawsuit? Do I want to be single or do I want to be with somebody? And it looks like neither of the choices, which kind of like feels like just on and off switch that only we have two, are feeling correct. So I think Aquarians might be, and Gemini too. Gemini is going to be the most affected with these undermining factors by these people who are maybe kind of like having not best intentions. But Aquarians are going to be sort of like in a status quo, which kind of does make sense because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is like higher emanation of Mercury. So I find that to me Mercury retrograde is always affected in the shadow. So just before, when did we enter? On the 23rd, 22nd, and we will get out on the 15th. So for example, my computer is getting fixed and I have a big again it went, and then it went again, and then my car, the sunroof has to be fixed. So pretty much all this Mercury retrograde, the stuff from the past is coming to the surface, etc. So guys, this will be the air signs. Do you have any questions? Please do. I'm going to ask for questions, and I hope you guys enjoying your coffee as well. Let's see, I'm seeing just yes here, air signs, but why don't you guys tell me a little bit about you? You're seeing me read, and I'm really glad that I can even help remotely to someone. But I would like to know more about you. And also guys, if you didn't grab annual taroscopes, I'm going to remove this offer end of the month. So this is your last, very, very last opportunity. So you're quite stressed. Why are you stressed, Keisha? Retrograde is intense right now. You know what, Kathy? My clients are telling me the same thing. What the heck is going on? Like, right? Spring, like equinox, and this Mercury retrograde. This is like awful, and it's kind of like almost like a tension in the air that is bubbling up. I have been having family issues where I need to set boundaries. You know, Keisha, this is a really big lesson in life. I think it's a collective lesson. Setting boundaries is the key, and women in particular are not being taught properly how to do them. And hence, when we are adults, it feels hard to do that. It kind of like you have to go against the stream until you kind of really establish a new routine, etc. My turquoise, no love at the moment, concentrating on work and finances. That's kind of like where I am, and frankly I'm really enjoying it. Then my boyfriend is Virgo and I'm Virgo, and we haven't been distracted. We're gonna be together again. Rose, I'm never addressing private questions because I consider that rude toward the other viewers, but like, I mean, check my website. I have like some very affordable options, and same things go for Deborah. So will I ever find another job helping people? So guys, you know what? You can find a job anytime you want. It is just a matter of shifting how you think and what you need to do, right? And that's spread for a new home. Money is running out. Again, guys, contact me for a private reading when it comes to the personal question, because first of all, I don't even think I can read private things in public. I don't think anybody can read, to be honest, because just think about it like you are trying to basically piss in the wind. There's like so much going on and you're just trying to kind of pinpoint something. That doesn't work, and those answers would never be good anyway, so that's why I don't want to do that. So to workers together, my Venus sign is in Aquarius. My Venus sign is Aquarius. I think that is what is screwing me, because I kind of like always see my partners as friends, and if they cannot be my friends, I always feel they cannot be my partners. And to me, friends always means higher than lovers. And if you cannot be that, if you cannot be on the intellectual level, which doesn't have to mean like, I mean, you have to be super smart, it's just like that I can normally communicate, it's kind of doesn't work for me. Okay, so which element is next, guys? Okay, now again, it is a time to vote. We have to collectively, in every country of the world, take things into our own hands. It has been enough. The system that we have been saddled with, and we easily can get out of the issues by voting. So let's start voting on cat thing. Okay, we have a fire, earth, fire, earth. Okay, earth, fire. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, earth. Don't want wet shoes. Earth, fire. It's earth is leading a little bit. Fire. Fire and earth is equal. Fire and earth, fire and earth. Oh my gosh, which one do I do this first, fire or earth? Let's go fire. Let's go fire. And the only reason why I'm doing fire is because air was the highest vibration. Let's go with the fire. So Aquarius was just done, Olga, and just so you guys know, I have, maybe this is why it's slower, because the red bar that you see on the bottom, you can actually click it back and you can see the reading right now, so you don't have to wait for this to process, right? Okay, so let's see. Fire, fire, because earth got lots of fire, so earth will lots of fire, and pardon, not earth, the air got lots of fire and earth, so it's kind of like the grounding energy for the air elements. So let me see fire, and if you guys, when you see other people jumping on board, please let them know, because I kind of like look down here when I'm reading, and in the intervals between I look up there. So let's see. Fire from the 24th to 30th. Oh my gosh, talking about fire, I'm going to leave the devil out. Fire. Did something else flicked? It did. There you go. Your reading opened up for you. And you guys have what? Oh my gosh, you have 5 major arcanas fire. So you have the devil, tarot lesson, short tarot lesson. This is not fire. Yes, and this is not necessarily bad either. The devil is generally representing earth, and it is representing Capricorn sign. Then we have the hanging man. In tarot, this is representing God, just like the Fool. The Emperor reversed, which represents Aries and fire signs. Then we have the Judgment, which is my karma card. So fire is going to go through something really important this week. This sometimes represents Scorpio. Then we have Page of Wands reversed, which does talk about fire, but fire kind of like is being extinguished when it's reversed. And then we have Justice, another karma card. I only have 4 in entire deck, and look at how many more cards I have over here. Justice is also Libra. So as you can see, the only fire really that I have would be the Emperor and the Page of Wands, both of them being reversed. So what's happening, guys? You're either maybe being tricked in situations that you know are not good for you. You simply know that things might not work out, but just like we are humans, right? Hey, you know, like, I mean, I'm going to spend $100 to win a lottery. You know, you shouldn't be spending $100, and then you need $100 the next week. It's gone, evaporated in the air, to make a really stupid, really example, right? So you need to reassess what is going on, because the Hangman is definitely talking about it. The Hangman is basically talking about you're reaching the end of some kind of phase, and I'm seeing this in 3 cards. I think that you're feeling that you got a short end of a stick. The Devil can talk about codependency, and codependency is, some people think, actually lots of my clients think this is love, because you feel, oh my gosh, I cannot breathe, I cannot sleep, if this person just doesn't call me, I'm going to kind of, something will happen to me. It's like the anxiety that gets born out of it. But remember, love is kind, love is gentle, and this is like that obsession. This is like sort of like somebody kind of hooked us, that kind of like space, and that's why we're burning like this kind of like fire. So this is clearly saying that something has been going on. Also, fire signs are putting an end to something, but in a much greater way than air signs. Air signs seem to be knocked to death, and they have an enemy. They have somebody who is undermining whatever, their progress in life. You guys are doing this yourself, and it is a harsh and hard lesson you're going through. You know, I had love-hate relationship. Hi, Lena. I'm good. I have a love-hate relationship with this person. Yes, I wish, with this card. This is basically right now love, because finally it hit me. This is about self-sacrifice. Understanding that maybe pushing, because action signs, your fire signs, are really all about action. Get off the butt, do it. So, you know, I can talk to you about my brother and his wife, both being like fire signs, Aries and Leo, and it's much easier for him, oh, I have to go to the gym, than to me. I have to kind of like really study through it, make sense out of it. So this is sort of like this card of sacrifice, saying, for example, you're a guy and you love your baseball, love it, but that baseball takes 3-4 hours every weekend, and you're realizing that maybe the family life is a little bit wobbly in the process, and you're saying, you know what, I am not only sacrificing this, but I'm sacrificing this gladly, and I know I'm doing this, whether this feels like, I mean, I'm getting the short end of the stick. I just don't want to continue doing this, because I feel there is like much more for me in the future. So it's going to feel a little bit destabilized in this period, but it's certainly, I think that's going to be the key. Kind of try to see how the other people see that from their standpoint. What do they want, and how do they basically react about it? Very important period. Actually, let me add it up and see where we get. It's like 20, 35, 47, 51, 62. So everything actually adds up to Strength card. And the Strength card is talking about not having a knee-jerk reaction, trying to tame those forces inside of us that they want to kind of like attack the person, that they want to kind of like show this animalistic part, and try to really work on that. So let me just see. Under a spell. Hi Dean, that's very cute. I don't know, like really, do you guys really believe that there is such a thing as black magic or white magic? Because there is not much difference in between. I would never pay for it. I know lots of people who are doing that, and frankly I have never seen it work, ever, not once. And I have been around these people for 2 decades, and I think it's a big BS. I, however, do think that can work if you think it's going to work. If you convince yourself, like, I mean, if you say, oh my gosh, somebody put a curse on me, or something is going to work, this is a sort of like what they call a placebo effect, right? cleaning vibrations is a little bit different kind of things. And guys, I would really appreciate if there is like no communication about spells over here. Simply, this is such a bad vibration. What you're doing is you're really destroying yourself. And be my guest, but please not on my channel. Okay, so okay, you know what, I'm going to block people who are doing this because I have asked this to stop. So let's see fire signs. We are starting with Aries. Aries. Okay, so I think this card over here. Aries. Then the next one would be a Leo. And the next one would be Sagittarius. Sagittarius. And this is weird. I think the very first one that flicked was the Empress over here. So interestingly enough, remember how I said, like, I mean, there are like 5 majors, and when the majors show up, no, I understand, Kathy. I'm not mad. I am just like sad that people are being, you know, what I do, I don't do this from, let's say, psychic standpoint. I don't think I'm psychic. Yeah, I do get certain things that sort of like are different, but I think every one of us have certain ability or can be trained, kind of like to feel, experience things differently. But when people do spells, when people do that, I honestly think that they're saying to themselves, I am a 0. I cannot do anything with my life. I have to use this. So just like, let's say you have 2 glasses of water and you're saying, you know, I want, in one is wine and one is like, let's say, what do you call it, Perrier or bubbly water. I want a spritzer. I want to mix it. So I need a spell for this. You know, there is a way around this to mix it, to do it yourself. And I always, and if you know anything about me, you can do everything yourself, and that's what I want to teach you. I want to train you. I want to tell you what are the pitfalls of all these archetypes, so you can actually be able to do it yourself. So nobody can pull wool over your head, nobody can tell you what to do, and simply stay away from people who are trying to milk you for spells, because simply you're just simply damaging yourself. And instead, roll up your sleeves and let's do it, right? Michelle, if there are so many major arcana, does that mean what is happening this week out of your choice or fated to happen? Well, yes and no. Mostly yes. These are big lessons. So just think of this like it's an exam in front of you, and you will be asked to really do it. Then this is the exact point of karma. There is like this card, Wheel of Fortune, I'll show you, that is really talking about your question, because this is simply a micro world in each of these cards. And let me see, Wheel of Fortune, there we go. And it's not a really great card in this deck, but you're going to get a whiff, right? So, and even here, look at this, we do have sort of like a mechanism. We have planets and we have the sun rotating almost like sort of like central point. And so this is basically saying, look, you can get on top right now. This is what this is telling you. It's the possibility to move that wheel. When you get these big cards, it's telling you these are exactly lessons that you need to work on. You need to work on codependence. You need to figure out if you're treating well and the other people treat you well. You need to figure out what you need to stabilize yourself. This is a really good card that says, look, you're looking in your past actions, which means that some of you are really going to resolve this kind of like thing over here, but maybe you're still not going to be in a position to move this forward. So Aries is going to look into real details over here. And this kind of like could also signify a family business. And family business, when it can work really on, like, I mean, you know, like we have a family business that has a bad side and has a good side. So this could be a good side as well. Leo and Sagittarius are again having majors. So let's go back to your question, because I don't think I answered it fully. It's like an essay, and now you know which questions will be on the essay. So if you're in a situation where you can choose from the right and wrong, and you know you can get away by doing wrong, don't, because this is a test. And it's going to feel for you fire signs, and especially for Leo in this particular period, that you are losing grasp. It could be actually divorce, guys, I see it, or it could be a third party. To me, the devil also sometimes talks about exes coming up from the woodwork, and or even, you know, the mother or father of your children trying to basically tell you how you live your life, that kind of stuff. So for Leo, certain things are still not finished. The cycle, you see how I showed you that card, these two cards are actually twin sisters. So this is the midpoint lesson, right? And this one is saying, okay, you can be on the top, you can be on the bottom, it doesn't matter, this too shall pass, right? But this one is having this fixed signs to boot. So Leo is here, and this is basically being reversed is not a good place to be. It's kind of like looking backward. Imagine if you're trying to hold the earth from spinning, right, with your mind. Even with your mind, it's just like horrible thing. So something happened in the past with Leos that need to be resolved, and it looks like it's not going to be. It's still, the phase is continuing, and it's something really crucial. Can be related to codependency, could be related to kind of like how Leos perceive the world. For Sagittarians, I am glad to say the Sagittarians are passing this with flying colors, and the Empress is the creator. The Empress is the very first stage in tarot when we actually move forward. The Empress also signifies Taurus or Libra. So whether you have connections with those signs, because this one is also kind of Libra here, but Libra is basically archetype of a universal justice, where Taurus is an archetype of the universal rules and strength to some kind of extent, as well as the money. So I think Sagittarians are, if you're a guy, you might find a woman of your dreams, because the Empress is all of it, right? And she's simply like maybe even looking like too perfect to kind of be approached. If you're a woman, you will be coming to your own and understanding what you can accomplish, and it's going to be really good. Do we need to clarify anything here? Let me see here what guys are saying. It wouldn't let me click to live till now. Oh my gosh, why is that? Time to change, positive change. Yeah, you know, I think it's not just black cat, I love it. I think it's beyond time for change. I really think that things are changing not just on micro level. I think things are changing universally in society, and we have to be a part of it. So guys, fire signs, you have been called to something really important over here. Really important. I will really watch my fire sign friends this week, because this is going to be awesome. I like to see that when I get it in my own cards, because it's pushing me, allowing me chance to get on the next level, and I kind of like really like that. So let's see. Thank you, Nicolia. So what I want to see is this devil, because let's see who and what is hiding behind that. X. I told you, sometimes this kind of gives me about the X's. Hello, Mercury retrograde. Somebody might come from the woods, promise you everything, but just want a sex. Keep that in mind. Thank you, guys. Look at you, like you're full of compliments this morning. Holy smoke. Do you know that I'm not a morning type, and like I'm in, but like this still cheers me up. So let's see what else I want to know. Like, why is this Page of Wands reversed, and why is this Emperor reversed? And why is this World over here reversed? The Emperor is reversed. Maybe there is instability in love, or maybe you're missing somebody. Maybe there is a sense of not being in control over your love life. And let me just get one more card for that. Huh, that's interesting. That's that Taurus energy again. Maybe somebody's breaking the rules. Maybe somebody's married. Maybe somebody already is in a relationship and hence things cannot move forward. Look at this. Shall I stay? Shall I go? Shall I stay? Shall I go? Page of Wands, inactivity is like simply, you know, guys, you know, Mercury retrograde makes you confused. Something that you will want to move forward, you're going to get stuck on it. So it's not a biggie. So let's see for the Leos over here. Visiting a baby. Well, baby can literally mean a baby, but baby can also mean a project from the past, which I really think applies better here because we have the other cards that suggest that. So something, I don't know if you need to meet with somebody, if you need to discuss certain things. Keep in mind there are like 4 basically signs contained here. The world ultimately is the Earth card, right? But you have Aquarian, you have Scorpio, which is shown here as an eagle. You have Taurus and you have a Leo. Interesting. Well, let me just get one more for baby here. Loss of a baby. Oh gosh. You know what? This is a horrible thing to say. And that's maybe why it is. Maybe some of you have lost a baby or will lose a baby. And that's what I'm saying. It's a horrible thing to say. I hate saying things like this. And the Empress also is a mother. So maybe it's going to be pregnancy scare or not keeping a pregnancy scare for Earth signs, in particular for Leo and Sagittarius. And I think Leos either are still having this impact from something in the past when something like this happened, or maybe you had a business with a person that sort of like didn't progress kind of like forward in a way it should be. Okay guys, any questions? You guys want babies? I like Nicole and I will listen to this at night. Such a soothing voice. Thank you guys, that's very sweet. Even with this raspy voice, I have some cold or something. No babies, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, babies. Whenever I kind of like get that silly idea that I want babies, I go to McDonald's and sit right next to the play bin and like I hear, oh my gosh, I gotta run. So, oh my gosh, more turquoise. You see, so you send the energy. I'm really sorry to hear this. I'm really sorry to hear this. So the next one is Earth, because Earth really made their point last next to fire, and I decided just to go with different energies. So let's summarize the air. I'm going to summarize it in the end. Let's do the Earth. You know, my turquoise energy is there. I always, whenever I lose somebody really close to me, which is a horrible thing to go through, I always remind myself that I should really go inside. That the love that I have for them, it resides inside of me, and that like nothing can take it. So that kind of like cheers me up, right? So let's see. Air didn't resonate. That reading was hectic. Thank you, Harlan, for your input. And hopefully it's not going to be you. But, you know, there are also monthly readings that you can look at it. This is just a weekly. And weekly sometimes only signifies a small segment. So if it's not you, it's not you. Maybe you should check your ascendant. And I also advise that people check their own Venus sign. And if you want to cross-watch for a partner, check their Mars sign. You see, turquoise, I love the crowd over here. It's kind of like trying to really help, and that's what I would love the channel to be. That people, I mean, that's why I invite comments, because it's not that I need comments for my work. I do know when I'm doing great reading. I do know when, you know, my intuition is like not at the highest. But the key there is like that people can find a forum where they can talk about issues that bother them. So I always invite you to do that. So your Scorpio moon and rising has been resonating lately and Gemini hasn't. Yeah, look at you. Oh my gosh, Harlem. No wonder. So okay, let me explain what's going on with you. Scorpio is a deep water, and air is like all the way on the other side. So you are probably operating somewhere in the middle all the time. So Gemini is like forcing you out of water. This one is pulling you down. So you probably feel like your life goes up and down in the deepest feelings of emotions, but in deepest despair, and also in the highest euphoria and the highest sort of like anxiety. So that's kind of like really it's a funny mix. But you know what, if you were just a new soul, you would not get that combination, because that's a heavy combination. Hi Sarita. So Earth, ta-da, Earth. Let's see, from the 24th to 30th, from the 24th to 30th, from the 24th to 30th. How many Earth people do we have here? Please guys, come forward. I need to feel your energy. Kind of give me the energy for Earth, okay, while I'm sipping a coffee. Coffee. Earth. And another thing, guys, tarot, in my opinion, really in my humble opinion, is way more advanced than astrology. And the reason for that is it kind of connects to our soul and not to the place where the planets being arranged when we were born. And this is why you don't see tarot readers going to astrology, but you see astrologers going to tarot reading, because they just always feel there is something missing. But I like to combine the two because I feel merit in both. And this is why I divide this as per signs, even though technically I should probably be dividing it per month. It kind of would make more sense to me, but yeah, I have to go with what most people kind of like already comprehend. So Earth, Taurus, there we go, Virgo, Taurus, lovely. Okay, Virgo, Taurus. The Empress reversed, a 9 of Swords. Ouch. Okay, Earth. Thanks, David. Yeah, I think it's a mixture is a good thing, because you're simply staying on a limb with what the heck is going on here? I'm almost like want to reshuffle again, but I think I need to read what I see. Earth. I don't think I was focused enough though. It doesn't really matter. It's simply, you know, it comes out. So you guys have the Empress reversed, 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, the Hangman reversed, the Magician reversed. So also 4 majors. Holy smoke. And we thought Earth, the air, kind of had a lot, and I'm seeing everybody but air is actually having a much higher basically calling this week. So also this is a clear end of a cycle for Earth. You have the Hangman, and here you have the World card in this deck, and you're finishing a cycle. And it's going to be really interesting because I will need to clarify this for each individual sign, because I'm seeing that some of you are going to kind of like really move forward and really going to enjoy moving forward. Others are still going to be with having unresolved issues, feeling anxiety, sleepless nights. Okay, guys, so the Empress reverse talks about feeling clingy, feeling disconnected. Maybe you have problems with your children, maybe you have problems with your family, maybe you have simply problems with your self-esteem. But that's kind of like the time of a year, whether you're like in the North Hemisphere or in Southern Hemisphere. Like in the North Hemisphere, we entered spring right now, and they are entering fall. And this is like, oh, am I too fat? Or, you know, I'm getting too old. And this little kind of like micro crisis can be indicated in the Empress reversed, right? So, Nine of Swords is like, really, this is why I start thinking like, guys, like something is really upsetting, and it's kind of like time is passing, because look at the circular movement over here, and it's kind of like weird. We have the circles like everywhere, like circle, 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 circle. For some of you, and I'm seeing literally 2 or 3 different layers here, and different storylines. I cannot connect this in one storyline unless they're like in different segments of your life, because look, the Empress is feeling like, oh, somebody pulled a rug under my feet, something is going on, there is a sadness over something, of some kind of loss. And this is like somebody did talk about setting boundaries. This is to me that card of kind of like push and pull. We have to do this our entire life, and in every situation, even with people with whom we have been friends or lovers for 30 years. This happens every minute of every day, that we have to reestablish who we are, and that is a really good thing. That is what making us grow. Sometimes the situations are anxiety kind of like prone. Sometimes we feel stuck. To me, this is one of the worst cards in the entire deck. It is worse because, one, it is a 9. It says you're stuck. You know this old gramophone when it would just keep skipping? This is kind of how it feels. I call it a wash machine brain, and thinking about the same person or same thing or same situation, or feeling stuck over and over and over again. And guess what's happening? This is happening because we don't want to conscientiously stand out and fix it. We don't maybe want to set these boundaries. We want to feel sorry for ourselves. And we live in a society that is simply enjoying this victimhood. We all love to be patted on the shoulder. But why don't we talk about, hey, you can guys do certain things, right? Yeah, exactly. Merry-go-round. It's and we all have been there. Let's kind of like put it out there. This is not like I am perfect and you guys have no clue. We all have been there. In neurolinguistic programming, and I guess some of you know that I am a coach as well, and in neurolinguistic programming they have something which is called pattern interruption, or pattern interruptus, and it tells basically when you start feeling that you are swirling down or having this kind of pattern, you have to do something dramatic to change it, something unexpected, whether you stand up or you slam the fist, and all this expression, slam the fist on the table, this is all going back to that pattern. You literally have to do something each and every time you start spinning in that kind of direction, and that is going to start shafting you to a different better way. Because I certainly see 2 crossroads here. I see these 4 cards. Maybe that's going to be the beginning of the week, talking about everything going wrong. Well, sort of like this is neutral card, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I'm going, why the heck is this happening to me, and all this kind of like almost existential questions. And then I think it's going to happen. You're going to start interrupting the pattern. It's going to be, you know what, I can try to do differently. Nothing is going to cost me, because everything that I had so far, it resulted where I am. So keep doing the same things over and over and expecting different results, right? Definition of what? A crazy person. So, and after this happens, I totally see the 2 different scenarios will happen. One, some of you will pass with flying colors. Job well done. You're moving to the next stage. You figured it out. You resolve this. You are not going to be a victim anymore. The others, not so much so. The others are still stuck in the lesson. The Hangman, I was telling, I don't know which sign that was, I believe fire. It is basically representing God. It is like talking about self-sacrifice, purposely putting yourself in a situation or withdrawing yourself from a situation where you feel it's not workable. But this is a victim. This is like, oh, but this happened to me, look at me, and trying to manipulate because of that. And usually when I do the reading in the cards, I very often see, because we generally as people, we are nice, and even these people who are these victims, they are nice people who are just not realizing they're stuck. And because of this, not having an ability to see how our actions affect other people can be detrimental to our own health, to our well-being. Because we need to always, when we're establishing these boundaries, do two things. It's a push and pull. Push is like how far I can go, and if you push it too far, then you're a bully, right? But pull, when people pull you, it's also for you to establish this line in the sand and say, you cross this line, watch me. Kind of like, right? So this is that fine line continuously kind of like going throughout life, because the very next card after this card is this card of a victory. So one person will emerge as a victor, and guess what happens? All these other people will resent it. So keep that in mind, that you should never win this game. It's not the goal of this game is to win, but simply to establish your own space, your own territory. Thank you, Dean. So two different ones. Which one is going to be you guys? So let's clarify. So which one is the first earth sign? I think Taurus. Okay, let me see your questions. Any questions? Be unique and make it different. Yeah, shake it up, change the pattern. Honestly, guys, whatever it is, if you just don't need to stand up the moment when you see this thought, if you're lying down in bed and these thoughts come to you, get up and get yourself a glass of water. Turn on the television and interrupt this pattern, because you see, they know that we have these electrical impulses in our brain, and initially maybe we have been abused, but by regurgitating these thoughts, we continue self-abusing ourselves, and then blaming it on somebody, where basically the biggest abuser is us, the word us. So keep that in mind, food for thought, right? Dean, no, this is not for flirting form, please. Okay, I want to know how Taurus is doing. So that's where we are going next. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. It's about your own positive growth. Yes. None of us is a pussycat, and none of us is, you know, or what do you call it? Monster. But we are somewhere in between. So we have to kind of like say, let's try to be better, do better, etc. So Taurus got two cards, the Emperor reverse and the Page of Pentacles. Virgo, oh gosh, Virgo, you got a whole bunch of card of strength. Oh, look at this, Eight of Swords, the Justice reversed, and Two of Pentacles. And Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn. So let me get one more. A Capricorn. Oh my gosh. Okay, Capricorn, guys, you will be the one who will actually really go in a positive direction. You will be the one who not only will you realize what you need, you will realize what you want, and you're going to realize the difference, that sometimes you have to go for what you need, because this is going to become what you want in the process. You might actually have a new person coming to your life, this King of Swords. There can be some Libra, but it can be also somebody who is who's kind of like really just a really level headed kind of a person. And look at this, I love these two cards together. Guys, join my course. Oh my gosh, you will my course is not like other tarot readers, because I don't want to teach you, this means, you know, push and pull. And I want to teach you about the world behind each of these cards. So look at this, we are seeing here two people who definitely look equal. They're like looking at each other in the eyes, and none of them is pulling back, none of them is pushing. So this kind of game over here is not happening, and each of them have their own strength. This guy is saying, you know what, I can cut this out, but I can cut this in. And she's saying, well, I'm the holder of this motherhood, I'm the holder of the growth, I'm the holder of the money, I am very resourceful. So they make a really, really, really good fit. So let's see the quick questions, like when the cards fall out. Yeah, actually I generally do that, but then, like, I mean, the readings can last forever, right? So you guys don't know, because I kind of like speed up the shuffling part now, because I was like attacked so many times, or you're like pulling these cards purposely, you just, you have all kinds of people. So I'm showing this, but like you see 20 seconds, and it's usually 3 or 4 minutes that I do that. So let's backtrack. Taurus. Taurus, guys, you need to stabilize. You're really working on contracts. You're working on figuring out what is important, because this is kind of really interesting that we have the Empress and the Emperor both reversed. This could be about some kind of breakup, guys, that this kind of like pick up on Taurus, crying over spilled milk, or there is somebody you feel got away, somebody's lost, or, you know, some kind of breakup. This definitely can talk about that. Good news, it's not going to last. You guys are so going to recover. You are moving forward, saying slow and steady wins the race. And this is what Taurus is famous for, saying, like, you know what, I'm not going to let all these things come in a way, because this is the Empress is also Taurus as well. So this is kind of like really telling. It looks like it was a natural ending of a situation or being with a person, and that mourning period also is over, and things will start to really, really nicely look up, and I really like that. Virgo, you got 4 cards jumping out, and the first thing I've noticed was like 2 8s. You do know that all 8s are relatives, right? Whether good or bad. So check what the different relatives they are. So this one I did explain for the different thing for the air signs, kind of added up to the strength that entire week. Here it's talking about really dealing with our internal fears, dealing with our denials, dealing with things where we are mean, when bad things of us are lashing out, maybe the things that we hate, that we don't want to, or maybe we are not even aware of, because that's why she's blindfolded, because maybe others tell us and we don't want to hear it. It's going to really be interesting week for you Virgos. Look at this. You're having the strength, but you're also having the justice. Generally, by the way, the Emperor can represent Aries, strength can represent Leo, and the justice can represent Libra. So just because they represent Libra doesn't mean that if you don't have anybody like this in your life, that this is not valid. The cards also represents archetypes. So as I said, this is about taming that lion inside of us, animalistic kind of nature. This is about realization that sometimes we have to try to see more, and not to be stuck, and not to feel that we cannot get out of the situation. Where this card, which is one of my favorite cards in this deck, is showing the scales. There are only 2 cards with scales in the entire deck, and they're not in balance in this deck. Absolutely not. To make it worse, they're not in balance over here either, twice as much. So something will happen to test you guys. You will be facing a situation which to you is going to be horrible. So I don't know, somebody's going to leave the gas on. No, I'm just kidding, because I know how detail oriented you guys. It could be that you guys are going to divorce. It could be that you really need a strength to get through the situation, that you feel, I don't know how to deal with this, but this is difficult for Mercury retrograde, and then you're feeling, why did it happen to me? Maybe somebody chose somebody else, maybe over you, and you're feeling very bad about that. Maybe you have somebody who is long distance away from you, and you're feeling this whole kind of like thing is kind of like fading away. So for you Virgos, the key this period is literally going to be to get out of your head, because these 2 cards and these air cards are definitely telling me that you're spending too much time in your head versus kind of like working on yourself and pushing it forward. So for you can go both ways, it depending on how much you do. If you start kind of like reacting over something that's going to happen this week, which might not be good for you, if you take justice in your own hands, then you will win the situation, but you will not win the war. Because whenever this card comes reversed, it says, okay, justice is not going to be served, but justice will ultimately be served sooner or later. And this is why I declare this one of my karma cards, right? And there is like the sense of somebody juggling, or maybe you are having life and money and relationships, everything could be up in the air. To me, this card is sometimes, yeah, somebody has like more than one partner, but this is also a card of survival, you know, like when there's everything coming at us and we have to deal with this. So clearly how it looks this way is Capricorns are not going to have much to worry. Well, it's going to be these issues that everybody will encounter, and looks like Taurus will kind of like push through it, simply kind of like slow and steady. I'm pretty strong, I'll do it, very kind of confident. Virgo seems to have a higher spiritual lesson to learn in the situation, because it's talking about dealing with the strength and not applying the strength on the outside and working more on the inside. And Capricorn, like, I mean, no problems over there. Any questions, guys, over this? Is everybody there? Like, nobody's typing nothing over there. I hope you're still with me over there. Do I need to clarify anything here? And keep in mind, retrograde Mercury is always off. It's always the period that is full of surprises. It's kind of like always difficult to kind of get through it. So let me just clarify this over here. I really want house move for Cap. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Let's see. I want to see this Hanging Man and the Magician, because I want to see what is the door number 2 over here, because there is like the lesson that should be going in a new direction, but it's not. Thanks, Kathy. And then this is for these 2 cards. And look at that, Fidelity and Baby. Let me get more about this. An Enemy. I don't know, guys, this is simply telling me possible there is a third person in this whole thing. Somebody is going to continue going through some kind of period that is very unstable, and it's kind of Fidelity and a Baby, but the enemy, which always indicates the third party. It's kind of interesting. Maybe somebody is going to claim, oh, you know, that's what I was talking about, the victim kind of a thing. Oh, no, I would never cheat on you. In the meantime, they do know very well they're cheating, they're doing that, so hence that's kind of like that manipulation. And it could be that you have a baby with this person, and hence you're deciding not to kind of look into this issue deeper, or that there is like some other deeper connection with this person, such as business or unfinished business that kind of like is still going on. So that's the thing over there. And now we're going to water signs. Any questions, guys, over here? I will have to watch once it's uploaded. Yeah, guys, when it uploads, what is breaking up? You mean the video is breaking up? I think it is because I programmed it so you guys can, while it is live, you can actually go back right now to that point when I was reading earlier signs, and hence people are doing all this kind of interaction, because I assure you I have 250 megabytes and 20 megabytes upload, the fastest that I could get. So it is simply just the level of programming. So let's go with Scorpio. It's kind of weird that it was like this Tower card sticking Scorpio. And that's maybe why I said Scorpio, because this is generally Scorpio and Aries card. So, but let's go with water signs. Water signs. Okay, Kat, you mentioned, just let me just ask let me see a few questions. Juggling life in general, work, money, family life, no love, so there is one less thing to juggle. You never know when it surprises you, right? So let's see. I'm not looking forward to this. You know what? I always kind of look forward to even bad things, because if you have something bad happening in life, this is done for a reason, to push you to the next level. My turquoise cat, you mentioned justice card is karmic. If no action is taken, should I read this as justice will be served in time? Yes, that's exactly how you should read it. Justice is always served. This is not a judge card. That will be king of swords. This is justice card. It's an archetype. That's why it's the major arcana. It's saying do not take justice in your own hands. Just do nothing. Justice will be served sooner or later. That's very clear. Okay, so look at Scorpios. Look at my water signs. Okay, guys, how many water signs we have here? How many water signs we have here? Jana, Virgo in my moon. No problem, sweetie. Okay. And just keep in mind, if I don't answer your question, this is not because I'm rude, because I'm looking down at the cards and trying to focus. Scorpio and Cancer. Black cat, Scorpio. Surprise. I think Matrix is a Scorpio, but then somebody else actually paid a psychic, believe it or not. Well, I didn't pay a psychic. Let me backtrack. Somebody gifted me a psychic reading for my pets. And because I don't know what sign is Matrix, because I adopted him on October 30th for Halloween, when basically rescued him from the kids, and I kind of like declared him Scorpio. But this lady said that he's Taurus, that he doesn't think much, he's just very protective of Safi, and that Safi likes to come to our chit chats because she feels the energy. She just like loves the energy. I have 2 black cats born on Halloween. I was born. Oh my gosh, awesome, awesome. I have Capricorn in Venus. Okay, so let's see. Water signs from the 24th. You can tell I'm just waking up. So you can tell, look at this, it's a noon where I am, and I will be going until 11. This is pretty much what I can do. So water signs, water signs, water signs. I'm always intrigued with water signs because this is complete opposite of me, and I always look at opposite signs. I look at that signs to see, okay, what are they going through, and then I watch all these groups later myself, and I just watch my friends, and I watch people I see around me to see what they are going through and how they handle it. And it's kind of really amazing how different people find different solutions to the same problem, right? Okay. Again, justice reversed. That's karma card. I think only fire so far had 2 karma cards. There are actually 4 in the deck. Okay, water signs from the 24th to the 30th. From the 24th to the 30th. 4 of Pentacles. Ace of Wands reversed. Interestingly enough. Which sign is before Scorpio, Virgo? Pardon me, Libra, right? So I really feel this is still talking about Scorpios born in October. Remember how I said that like I should probably divide it per month, not per sign? Let me see. Water signs from the 20. Okay. Water signs. Oh, good golly. Okay, so let's take it because that's what it wanted to come out for you guys. So let me tell you what you have. You have the Justice reversed, karma card. So again, important period. You have 4 of Pentacles. You have Ace of Wands, 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands reversed, pardon me, 4 of Swords, 10 of Cups reversed, the Hermit reversed, the Fool reversed, Queen of Wands, 8 of Wands reversed, and Knight of Swords reversed. So how many majors do we have? We have 3. Still, that's lots of majors in such a small reading, right? And I think this is why I just wanted to come out. So anyway, again, same story. It's going to be a situation that is going to require you to do nothing, where you're going to feel like you want to murder somebody, where you're going to feel, why is this happening to me? We're going to feel, oh, here we go again, you know, I never kind of like get ahead. But the truth is, you will actually get ahead by doing nothing. It's kind of weird, because this is definitely a person who is holding things to his chest, who is kind of like really saying, well, this is mine, this is yours. And this always tells me, this card, about protectiveness, about the walls. And we usually like erect those walls when something bad happened to us. So whether you're Scorpio or finishing something with somebody, because I'm seeing here there are not going to be second chances. Absolutely not. Whoever is doing this, because you will be simply putting people... Did I say Scorpios? Why did I say Scorpios? Sorry, it's water signs. I keep thinking Scorpios. For some reason, you Scorpios are coming through very, very, very strongly. There will be no second chances, guys. You're going to be putting people on do not list kind of a thing. You know, absolutely kind of like stop doing this. 10 of Cups being in the central. And you guys are water signs, horrible in this. Well, actually, you're great at this, and I think this is your worst possible kind of thing that you can do. You guys, because you're emotional, because you kind of like have these big hearts, you pretend that you're happy. You pretend that, oops, my Fitbit is still working, even though I'm not working anymore on my elliptical. This is like kind of like putting a brave face to the world. This is kind of talking about, you know, everything is just fine, when you know very well it isn't fine, when you really know that things are shaking up, when you maybe feel lonely inside, because the Hermit reverse talks about not really coming to the core of the issue. You know, you see comedians, right? We all know about these comedians. They usually have extremely high IQ, but they also always want to higher and better. And we see them one after another, like, I mean, either being in drugs, or what happened to my favorite comedian, Robin Williams, you know, overdose. Because this is what happens. You are on the outside a comedian, but you're really suffering from the inside. And that's what I'm saying. This is the worst part of you, because you're like taking all these kind of things. This period is going to be really one of those that is going to ask you not to be foolish, because when the Fool comes reversed, you're cranking up stupid to 11, right? Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, instead of focusing to what needs to be done, because look at this will be the end of the cycle, this will be the beginning, and nothing is happening. So where do you want to go, back or forth? Because you do actually have to go in one direction, whatever it is, right? So it is kind of like really interesting, because this is the only water that I see in the water reading, because look what we have. We have air, pentacles, fire, earth, air, air, fire, fire, air. So you guys are literally fish out of water this week. You are literally going to be in a different phase, and no wonder that you're hitting walls. You're saying, listen, I need water, I need water. And you will maybe neglect yourself to some extent. You might have somebody who will be coming through to kind of like give you a bolt and say, listen, you know, water and fire together is a volcano, right? So this is what will be happening. Some kind of like fire might come in. You might get really angry in some kind of communication. It's kind of weird. You're going from don't talk to me, you violated me, this is all done, just leave me alone, let me have my walls. And when it comes to your friends and family, hey, hi, how are you? Nobody would know that you're suffering, where you're actually probably very deeply depressed. And This is the time when it's good to put your phone on airplane mode and not to kind of do stuff. But at the same time, I don't know whether some activities and actions will be coming your way that seem to be just ridiculous or completely unexpected or completely out of even something that you want to approve. But this could be also you, that you're going to go out of your way. And sometimes we have to do that. I was talking about this pattern interruption with the other people, and this actually could be it. Because you water signs, you also have that ability that you say, enough is enough, and I'm not going to do that. And maybe you're going to speak your truth in the end. Because, you know, when the pendulum kind of like swings, and if you feel like you're on the kind of like receiving end, it has to go on the other side. And that's what I see it over here. It's kind of going to go in phases. I see pulling in phase. I see kind of blocking others out to kind of spend some time. But I also see toward the end of the week, it's going to be crazyville. Because whether you just like need to let loose a little bit and kind of like get out and have fun, and you know what, why not? If you have been suffering, if you have been going through it, you can as well do it. I mean, nobody's perfect. You're not supposed to live this life being programmed, and that's why you might be go, maybe organize some kind of activities. But if you're waiting for some kind of communication or expression of love, it's not going to happen, because this is the opposite. This kind of like can also talk about trouble and delaying the plans, but Knight of Swords is holy smoke. You don't want to mess with this person. So I'm seeing here a King of Wands, a Knight of Swords, having kind of like okay corral battle. And it's not going to be good for either of them. So in fact, I would advise, this looks like it's going to be some kind of quarrel that is not going to end well for either of participants, and maybe this is why this is calling for no action, kind of like to not go there kind of a thing. So let's clarify a few things. Let's see. Any questions? Have a blessed day. Taurus rising, California. Hi California, good morning. It can be hard in combination with my Libra moon and Sag moon. Okay, nice to see you, Sally. Alright, so I want to see this Hermit reversed, and I want to see the Justice, because it is just about to switch, but like there is like this pressing energy that I'm picking up on you guys, and almost like because you are not willing to face your emotions, or maybe you can't because they're like too painful, this is still not shifting. And finally this somebody's going to open. Did you guys ever see the express pot? I don't know what you call express cooker, like you kind of like in Italy, kind of like my mom had it in Italy. We bought this, right? She had this like cooker because she was a working mom as well, so she would come from work and put the meat in it, and within half an hour it was done, right? But like when you open it up, all this like steam comes out, and that's what I see guys coming out with you. So guys, if you're dealing with water signs, hey, it might be some verbal vomit all over you, just to let you know. Hi Vancouver Island, Canada. I lived in Vancouver a while ago. It was such a beautiful city. Mind you, I was depressed all the time with the weather. So let me see. Why is the Hermit here? Pressure cooker. Thank you. Justice. And let's see the Fool. And let's see what the heck is going on here. So the Justice. There you go. Look at this debate between desire and falseness. So maybe you guys want certain things, and you're realizing, hey, this is not real. This is like what I want, and it's just like this person cannot give it to me, or the situation can happen. And it's realization. Look, maybe I remember when I was much younger, it was like one guy I really liked, and I idolized him so much that I would look so much in love, I thought, right? And then, I don't know, I don't even remember exactly what kind of situation happened, but something happened that I was like, good Lord, I don't even know you? This is awful. I would never be with a person like that. So it's kind of like, once when you reach that realization, like, It was done in a second. I was just like, all infatuation was gone that second. And something like this is going to be happening, sort of like realization that something is just not real. So let's see about this foolishness over here. Sadness. Yeah, don't do wrong things. Don't jump in bed with somebody just because you're hurt. Don't heal your sadness with foolish actions. That's simply clearly telling me, if you're sad, cheer yourself up. And that's what I'm seeing over here. You will be cheering yourself up with doing kind of like some activities, but in a sense this is good. But don't do something foolish that will cost you, okay? So let's see this Hermit. Ladies, exactly. The Hermit reverse talks about feeling lonely and still hoping and longing. And it could be a long distance relationship. It could be some distance in the partnership. Could be trying to get this promotion and not getting it. A whole bunch of things, right? The key with how things can be reversed is, again, action, but it has to be positive action. And let's see this Knight of Swords. Okie dokie. So there you go. Look at this. One person is not willing to face this truth, this knowledge, everything that we kind of know. You know, like you do know, don't get involved with a guy who is married. Don't be with a woman who tells you, you know, who is unreliable. We all know that. But we still hope that we are so fantastic that because the great us, they will change. And they never do. This is kind of lacking that insight, lacking that understanding what has happened, and hoping that the other option will happen, where is going to come to the light that things are done and over with. It's kind of still hoping for somebody to come back, which is the Mercury retrograde, and that things will work out, or the divorce will not go through, or to getting a promotion. The truth is, it is actually not in your best interest. This person is like so full of it. This person, look, he's coming out here as, oh, it's a poor me. There is again this victim card. Well, maybe you're also dealing with somebody who just recovered from a bad relationship themselves. Maybe this is where the guarded attitude is coming from. They are guarded, you're guarded. You cannot beat time. We live this existence through time. And sometimes I see great people being so perfect for each other, meeting at the wrong time. This is all there is. You have to understand that, you know, karma sometimes sucks. And even understanding that and putting a smile on your face and saying, well, at least we said hi to each other in this lifetime, it should be something that can kind of start pushing you forward. Because I do see you, water signs, you will be pushing forward in this period. So let's check individual water signs. So we are starting, which one is the first? Cancer, right? Cancer. Cancer. Well, it's sunny here today as well, and I probably will go for a walk. And the birds are always on my computer because Safi is using this monitor, my working monitor, as her television. So she has this long meow that she has, and that long meow means put my birds on, kind of a thing. So that's why I have birds chirping in my place all the time. Okay, doc. So let's see. Cancer. Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Whoa, the Tower, and it's reversed. That's okay. We will talk, Cancer. We need to talk because you're getting also major and very heavy duty cane. So I don't know, any Scorpio or Aries involved. Okay, which one is next? Scorpio. Scorpio. Oh my gosh, I love snow. Scorpio. Scorpio. You don't want to, there you go. There you go. Queen of Rods. Queen of Rods, Scorpio, this is you. You are not lying down and taking it anymore. You are like moving, movers and shakers. You're coming out everywhere in both of them. And yeah, this whole reading, honestly, I was like feeling intensity of Scorpio over here. And the last one is Pisces. Really? Just Mia? Pisces, there you go. Oh, good gosh, Pisces. This is you. This is your energy. Anyway, let's go. Let's go little by little over here. The first one was Cancer. Cancer, you're building your future on the House of Cards. The Tower reversed is just like Hermit reversed. You are building and building and building and building something that is not sustainable, that is never going to work out. This is like way worse than the Tower this way. It's not shaking you up like the Tower like this. It's like something happens and you're shocked and you have to deal with the shock. You kind of like you're gasping for the air. But when this happens, you're not gasping for the air. You're continuing. Everybody's telling you red flag, red flag, red flag. You say, no, 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 I'm fine. Cancer, this can damage you furthermore because you are generally so sensitive and you really need to protect yourself. These walls can also talk about you because you kind of like you go to your cave if you feel hurt, and this is kind of like taking you to the level where you shouldn't be. Yeah, you know what, if you think that you're having a gift and at the end of that kind of like tunnel or something, I'm really sorry to say this is not going to happen. You need to kind of figure out if a relationship or your life or something that you want to build is done on the proper ground. And you know what, maybe you are the ones that I'm picking up here being a little bit foolish. Maybe you're still continuing same old, same old. You ask yourself, good question, I always ask myself, how did that work for me? And if it didn't, do I really want to do the same thing? And is this going to work? That's all I'm asking of you. Just ask yourself. Scorpio, I have nothing to add. You guys are the ones who are going to face the situation head on. You will really feel action. You will feel in your element. You will wake up from whatever cleanse you needed to do, and it's going to be good. Whether you have to put certain things to an end, it could be with the lover, could be with the next lover, it could be some communication that is long overdue that has to come to the surface. So Pisces, so you see this 10 of Cups that I see over here reversed, and I talked about this family life and pretending to be happy, and this is 10 and this is 1. So you are coming out as gentle. You kind of like want to make things work out, but also are living in some kind of denial. You don't really want to see bad things, and I think this is like really typical for you Pisces, that you have this unbelievable optimism about things. But the Sun is saying, as well as the 8 of Swords, there is like some kind of burnout that you're feeling, and this is like you're pushing it forward with the sheer basically emotion. And this is why sometimes you will feel that you're collapsing. This is simply saying this is the card for you from the reading. You guys need some rest. Take some rest, allow yourself to recover, allow yourself to not to think about anything. Just pick your favorite music, pick your favorite movie, and just go with it. So water signs, how many majors? 3. So let's summarize all the signs. I think the fire and earth, which is the middle, is going to have crucial period this week. We will really have to figure it out how to balance action and daily life, all of the signs, because now I'm seeing a bigger picture, right? Water is going to be working on cleaning the muddy waters. from the bottom, from the stuff, and they're kind of like some of them, some parts will be clean and other parts won't be cleaned. The air is definitely going to get grounded and going to go, okay, let's put my nose to the grindstone and let's kind of like do things. But the fire and earth are going to have the brunt of the work this week, especially Virgos and Leos. You guys will be the kind of like really people being called to kind of like learn some lessons this time around. So guys, I hope we are going to survive this week. My God, it's going to be lots of stuff. I was looking for, okay, tell me that I'm going to have a week, I'm going to have a coffee with my friends and the weather is going to be nice, but no, that didn't happen. So any questions, guys? Because you're a little bit delayed, so I have to wait a little bit when it gets to you because I'm seeing nothing. But you know what, guys, somebody did ask me about this tarot reading and the karma cards, and I did say yes or no, and I forgot to say what I meant by no. What I mean by no is that ultimately we do have karma in our own hands, and if you come to my school, you're going to learn how to jump off the cycles and run it yourself. But that's good and bad, because we do come here to learn certain lessons. We do come here to kind of interact with the others, and kind of like saying no, not me. It can be a little bit kind of like self-indulgent, right? But at the same time, when you are tempted with choices that you know they're bad, and there's a trajectory saying you will be on this trajectory, you can and will, and you can definitely stop it, and you don't have to go in this direction. And this is what is called changing kind of things, right? So I'm glad it was on spot of some people. For the others, if it is not on a spot for you, I'm not saying I'm super duper fantastic, but I'm saying depending on what other influences we have. So it's good to get your ascendant, and it's good to check your Venus sign, as I said. So thank you very much, guys. Please join my Instagram, come on Facebook. I have dailies over there, so everything is covered. Dailies, Instagram, basically teaching a little kind of tarot, and then we have weekly over here, so a little bit for everybody. So any quick questions before I say goodbye to you and I start with my day? Let me see. Any messages from me? I keep getting a love coming to me. Guys, I'm not doing any private readings here. For that, you will need to go to my website and check and book any of the options. Okay? Any other questions, guys? Sonia, thank you very much. Kathy, Sylvia, and Leslie. I forget to say this, but this is a two-way street. Yes, I am doing the readings, and I'm really grateful that you're thankful. But I'm also want to tell you guys that I'm thankful that you are there for me, and this interaction is very important to me. I wish we had a different interaction where I can put you all on the screens and we can all see each other. That would be fun, even though with 60 people, sometimes 70 people, or right now 45 talking at the same time could be kind of like messy. But hopefully the technology will soon evolve to that level. But I also want to say, and I forgot to say this enough, thank you. And I also just asking you, the guys, please be my, carrier of the things that we comment on the site, and that way your comment. And this is the thing, I never thought that my little thoughts will help somebody. So maybe you're thinking the same way, but things, even small things, can maybe change somebody else's life. So just remember that. So thank you guys very much for being here. Well, Lynn, same readers. Okay, so let me just tell you, somebody else commented on my site, oh, well, the other readers had the same cards, or they didn't have the same cards, so how come you're off? Well, that's kind of like not fair to say. This is like saying, you know, well, different mechanics have different cards. How cards in it? How come? It is just like we all have different audiences. My channel is maybe a tidbit different. I'm not going kind of like down to, oh, you know, he's coming back, or, you know, there is somebody else. I'm sort of like giving you tools to kind of grow, sort of like what they say, you know, don't give them the fish, teach them how to fish. And that's what I really want to do. So hence maybe my audience is not the same as from some other readers, so we might have some overlap for the people who kind of like watch Cat Tarot and the other channels, but not necessarily, right? So just keep that in mind. And it's kind of like also important to kind of like really know not only the cards. Cards are only minuscule thing. You have to know life, you have to know people, and you have to give advice versus just reading the cards. Well, at least in my opinion. But ever know. Rosemary, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on Facebook, and I will see. I'm not Italian girl. I simply lived in Croatia, which is very close to Italy, so we traveled there a lot. So thank you very much, guys. Again, I love you, and until the next weekend, I wish you all the best. Okay, take care for now.